Carson-Newman is coached by Tom Griffin. He's assisted by Travis Tingle, Brendan Krog, Jordan Griffin, and James Sofield. And now, starts your 2023 Limestone Saints. Leading off and playing shortstop, a sophomore from North Augusta, South Carolina, number 1, Peter Adams. Batting second and playing third base, a sophomore from Concord, North Carolina, number 6, Noah Love. Batting third, designated hitter, a senior from Greenville, South Carolina, number 10, Zach O'Malley. Batting cleanup, playing first base, a junior from Alpharetta, Georgia, number 30, Dylan Shooting. Batting fifth and catching, a junior from Mooresville, North Carolina, number 32, Davis Turner. Batting sixth, the left fielder, a freshman from Greenville, South Carolina, number 9, Jack Davis. In the seventh hole, playing second base, a freshman from Fountain Inn, South Carolina, number 28, Wyatt Stone. Batting eighth, a center fielder, a junior from Miami, Florida, number 5, Daniel Baroa. Batting ninth and in right field, a freshman from Powdersville, South Carolina, number 37, Gavin Troyer. And starting on the mound for the Saints, the first game today, a senior from Norfolk, Virginia, number 26, James DeLoach. Limestone is coached by Brett Hargreaves, assisted by Jeff Kimmel, Brett Hubner, Daniel Britt, and Josh Lang. And now we ask you please rise as they honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, the SAC Conference, Limestone University, promote, encourage good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and all spectators. Profanity, racial and ethnic comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives.
A pleasant good afternoon from Gaffney, South Carolina. Andrew Rogers, glad to have you alongside here on the Eagles Sports Network. It's Carson-Newman and Limestone, a 3-game series this weekend. Starts with a doubleheader this afternoon. The first one will be 9 innings. The second will be 7 before the series finale tomorrow at noon as the Eagles take its 12-12 record on the road for a matchup with the Saints. Two teams trying to make a little bit of a run here in the South Atlantic Conference standings. Carson-Newman toward the top of the league standings so far this season. The 12-12 overall record this season. But 5-1 in conference play and a 3-way tie for second with Newberry and Catawba. Lenore Ryan's at the top of the table at a 6-0 mark. Limestone enters 8-14 this season, 3-6 in league play. Looking to make a little bit of a surge in what is a pretty clustered middle part of the conference standings. They sit 4 back of Tusculum, but a series sweep of Carson-Newman could certainly propel them to a better spot in the standings, trailing Lincoln Memorial and Anderson by just 2.5 games as well. So it should be a fun and exciting weekend here in Gaffney, South Carolina at Founders Stadium. Carson-Newman will send Noah Pridmore to the mound for Limestone. It'll be James DeLoach. The lefty gets the ball in the opener for the Saints. Eagles will send Trey Miller, Nelson Smith, and James Denton to the plate to start things this afternoon. Carson-Newman rocking the orange uniforms, road orange, gray pants. Blue numerals on the front and back of the uniform. And Eagles to the plate in the first time. All spotted up into the first base dugout. The Saints in the third base dugout. Limestone in its home blue, white pants and white caps. As the left-hander Deloach comes set and works into his windup. And the pitch is a strike across the belt to the leadoff hitter Trey Miller, who is hitting .342 for Carson-Newman this year. 4 home runs, 14 driven in. Has a 5-game hitting streak so far this season as well. The 0-1 offering from the lefty Deloach is hit on the ground left side. It's scooped up off the dirt infield by the third baseman Noah Love, and he throws across the diamond to the first baseman Shugan for the first down, and Trey Miller retired on a ground out to the left side. 1 out for Nelson Smith. James Deloach, left-handed starter, gets the ball. The 6-foot senior from Norfolk, Virginia, appearing in his 5th game. Check that, 6th game of the year. Delivers a breaking ball low to Smith for ball 1. Deloach making his 3rd start of the year. Has not gone more than 2 innings in a start this year. His last 3 innings pitched, he's given up a total of 9 hits, 8 runs. They're all earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. So he's given up a decent bit of runs. He's got an earned run average at 18.00 entering today's action. 207, the pitch is in there for a strike to Nelson Smith. 2 balls, 1 strike. Top of the first inning. Eagles and Saints battling here in Gaffney, South Carolina. Smith with a pair of 3 RBI games, hacks and fouls one back into the netting. Strike 2. 2 count to Nelson Smith. James Denton waits in the on-deck circle. Joe Ballant gets the start in the cleanup spot. Zach Bose, Dalton McLean, Ryan Ponce, Aiden Gibson, Will Gibbs make up the rest of the Carson-Newman order. Lefty Deloach delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got Smith to chase at a high fastball. And that's the 2nd out. So Deloach, a good start on the mound for the Saints. Gets the swing and a miss from Nelson Smith. And there are 2 outs for James Denton. So they go to the lefty. The Eagles only have 1 left-handed hitter in the batting order today. It's James Denton who's at the plate now. Looking to get Carson-Newman started here in the first. As the lefty steps in and faces Deloach's first offering, and the breaking ball drops in at the knees for strike 1. No balls and a strike on James Denton, Carson-Newman's 3-hitter. 3 for 16 at the plate since March 5th against Mars Hill. And he hits one off the end of the bat. A flare to Love at third, who hauls it in for the final out of the inning. Eagles go down in order. A couple of ground out, a line out, and a strikeout. Get James Deloach and the Saints a 1-2-3 first. Limestone to bat for the first time after this here on the Eagles Sports Network.
Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID. Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Glad to have you back from Founders Stadium. Andrew Rogers, glad to be here with Carson-Newman baseball team here this weekend. We'll be on the road again next weekend against Newberry. You can also hear those games here on the Eagles Sports Network. I'll make the trip with the team again to Newberry next weekend. Eagles battling with the Limestone Saints. Game 1 of 2 are today and game 1 of 3 for the weekend. Noah Pridmore gets the ball for Tom Griffin's team here in the opening game of the day. The junior is having a pretty solid season on the rubber for Tom Griffin's club. .464 earned run average in 7 appearances. He's made 6 starts. He's got a pair of wins as well. He has a save, 33 innings pitched. If he goes 5 2/3 today, he'll surpass his mark a season ago of 38 1/3 in 19 appearances. This will be his 7th start of the year, matching his total number of starts from last season as the right-hander works into his windup and faces Peter Adams, the leadoff hitter for Limestone, who taps one foul and out of play. Peter Adams is certainly a threat at the plate for the Saints, a team that is 11th in scoring average. They only score about 5 runs per game, but this guy, Peter Adams, is one of the best in the conference at hitting the baseball, and he grounds one right back to Pridmore, goes off his mitt. They'll chase it behind the mound, throw to first, not in time. Tough play for Pridmore to make on the ground ball. It deflected off of his glove and went far enough away from him, and it was still far enough away from Gibbs and Miller in the middle infield to allow Peter Adams to beat it out. And the conference's 3rd best hitter in batting average is aboard to start things for the Saints in the first. This way to Noah Love, team's leader in runs batted in this year. He's got a pair of home runs as well and takes fastball away for ball 1. Zach O'Malley is the 3 hitter as he waits on deck in a scoreless bottom of the first inning. Righty Pridmore comes set, working from the stretch now. Long pause for the right-hander. He delivers a fastball that's grounded foul off to the left side. A ball and a strike on the 2-hitter, Noah Love. One of 2 players for Brett Harker's team that has started and played all 22 games this year, now all 23. Hoping to extend this inning for the Saints, get things going. No one out in the inning, runner at first and Adams. A short lead for the shortstop, and now the pitch. He was taking off on it, and the breaking ball is fouled back by Love for strike 2. You go through Pridmore's game log and how he's performed this season, coming off a win against Wise last weekend. He allowed a 2-out, 2-run homer in the 6th inning, but he was solid in the 5 2/3, 7 hits, 3 runs. Here's a ground ball left side, fielded off a couple of hops by Miller. He flips to Gibbs at second for 1, and Gibbs will not throw to first. It's a force out at second as Love hits into a fielder's choice for out number 1. Gives away to Zach O'Malley. Lefty will step in and face the right-hander Pridmore. So Noah coming off a really quality outing. He's actually Carson-Newman's only pitcher this season that's put together quality starts on the rubber. Righty comes set, and the pitch is grounded right side. Gibbs will field it, ranging to his left, is only placed to first. He flips it to James Denton for out number 2, and now with 2 outs, Dylan Shugan will step into the batter's box with a runner in scoring position. But Pridmore has given Carson-Newman effective work on the hill this season. Shugan to face Pridmore here in the bottom of the first. In a scoreless first inning, Eagles were unable to strike in that first inning, went down in order. Righty's first pitch to Shugan is a strike. Righty set, a look back at the runner at second. The 0-1 is tapped toward Pridmore on the mound. He fields it, and Crow hops with a throw on to first for the final out of the inning. 3 ground ball outs gets Noah Pridmore a 1-2-3 scoreless first inning. We head to the second. It's nothing, no score here from Founders Stadium here on the Eagles Sports Network.
We're power with purpose.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long. From the morning with her $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Back for the second inning. Limestone was able to get a hit there in that bottom of the first inning. They strand Peter Adams, though, at second. And now Mitchell Ballant will step in 4, 5, and 6 for Carson-Newman to step to the plate for the first time today. Zach Bose, Dalton McLean. So follow for Carson-Newman as the left-hander Deloach comes set, and the pitch is fouled back by Ballant and out of play. Set the Limestone defense. Jack Davis out in left field. Janelle Barrio out in center, and Gavin Troyer is the right fielder. Lefties pitch hit off the end of the bat by Ballant, foul. Peter Adams at short, Noah Love at third. Wyatt Stone and Dylan Shugan make up the right side of the infield, with Davis Turner catching the left-hander Deloach, who's ahead on Ballant, 0-2. Lefty set from the stretch, and he goes to a fastball outside that Ballant stayed away from for ball 1. One ball and 2 strikes, the count on Ballant, hitting in the 4 spot for the 12th time this year. Fouls one back into the netting. Eagles are actually 7-4 when he hits in this cleanup spot, 3-1 when he hits 5th. And they're 10-8 when he's behind the dish, which he is here in game number 1. 1-2 offering is called strike 3. Deloach went to a slider that broke in on the knees to the catcher Ballant. It's strike 3 called, and Ballant down looking on strikes for the first out of the second, and now Zach Bose. So back-to-back. Or check that second strikeout for Deloach. He's retired Carson-Newman's first 4 hitters of the afternoon. Lefty delivers the first pitch to Bose a little bit low for a ball. Zach Bose having a fine senior season, hitting .244. Does have an RBI in 4 of his last 5 games. 1-0 from Deloach is high and away for ball 2. He's got 6 multi-hit games this year, but only has a base hit in 2 of his last 7 games. Trying to get right this weekend in Gaffney, South Carolina. Pitch is grounded down the line. It's a fair ball down the left field line. This goes all the way into the corner. Zach Bose rounding first. The left fielder has trouble handling it initially, but either way, Zach Bose stands up at second base with a 1-out double. Jack Davis was able to get down into that left field corner. It took him a second to kind of grab the baseball out there. Really didn't matter, though, if he would have grabbed it cleanly initially. Bose was going to be into second base, and he wasn't really thinking 3 either. So a 1-out double gives way to Dalton McLean. Eagles with their first base runner of the contest. Lefty comes set, delivers. McLean showed bunt, pulled it back, but took a strike. Balls and a strike on Dalton McLean. Ryan Potts waits on deck. McLean enters this weekend on a 3-game hitting streak. Opportunity here to add to his RBI total as well. Lefty Deloach set, the pitch. Low and away, ball 1. McLean so far this year, just 3 extra base hits. He does have 21 hits this year. And has played in 23 of Carson-Newman's 24 games here in 2023. Trying to add on to his 9 RBI total this year with Bose in scoring position at second. 1-1 pitch is popped up along the right side of the infield. It's going to drift foul and just stay in the park. Shugan and Troyer, or check that, Stone gave it a look, but neither could get there in time. A 1-ball, 2-strike count on Dalton McLean here in the top of the second inning, no score. Each team with a hit and has had a runner in scoring position so far. McLean fights off a 1-2 pitch, back to the backstop, staying alive in his first plate appearance. Carson-Newman has won 5 league games in a row, 3rd year in a row, with the only stretch longer than that coming in 2021 when it won 8 straight, sweeping a 4-game series against Wise and Queens. Breaking ball into the dirt, blocked by the catcher Turner, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Eagles have won 5 in a row in conference play, trying to extend that here in game number 1 and continue to battle for a top spot in the South Atlantic Conference standings. Left-hander comes set, and the pitch to the plate is just below the knees to Dalton McLean, and he has worked the count full. Three balls and 2 strikes. Zach Bose standing at second and 1 out in the inning. Lefty set, the pitches, low and away, ball 4. So James Deloach loses Dalton McLean after getting ahead at a ball and 2 strikes. Riders in 3 consecutive balls, and now McLean is aboard, first and second with an out in the inning, and Ryan Potts to the plate. So Carson-Newman decides to play this sequence out. They show bunt and try to get a sacrifice down and get 2 in scoring position for Aiden Gibson, who is on deck. Deloach set. Look back at the runner a couple of times. Bose at second, and now he'll throw back, and it's bounced in but scooped up by the second baseman, Stone. To not allow that ball to get into center field. Deloach's pitch outside of the fastball, ball 1. Lefty has lost a little bit of what he had early on, retiring Carson-Newman's first 4 hitters. But he's allowed Bose to double to left, and he walked McLean, setting himself up into a jam here in this second inning. The pitch, swing and a miss. Breaking ball from the left-hander Deloach. He got McLean, or he got Potts, I should say, to fan at it for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 2 on. Top of the second inning for Carson-Newman, trying to strike first here in Gaffney. Lefty comes set, a look back at Bose at second, and the pitch to the plate is just outside, ball 2. Once again, continuing to battle, and these Carson-Newman hitters working the count. And the pitch count of James Deloach, who again has only gone 2 innings 1 time this season. That was back on the 5th of March against Newberry. He gave up 6 hits and 4 runs in that start. The pitch is popped up right side of the infield. Deloach over, Shugan over, but it's Deloach, the pitcher, making the catch in foul ground for the second out. Oh, no, you don't want your pitcher veering toward foul ground to call off the first baseman in that situation with Shugan running in, but instead,
that brings the plate. Third baseman, number 21, Aiden Gibson.
but shoot, Deloach makes the catch, 2 outs, 2 on, and it's Aiden Gibson's chance. Gibson's been swinging a hot bat for Carson-Newman entering the weekend. Deloach just pitch a fastball for a strike. Gibson enters the weekend on a 5-game hitting streak. He's got 8 runs batted in during this 5-game stretch. All coming in 2s. He had 2 last time out against Lee in the midweek matchup. Swing and a miss, strike 2 on Gibson. He had 4 total in the series with Wise. 2 in Game 1, 2 in Game 2, and then 2 against Tusculum back on March 8th. That dominant win for Carson-Newman then. 0-2. Lefties ahead of Aiden Gibson. 2 aboard for Carson-Newman. Deloach's pitch. Outside, ball 1. Lefty went to the outside. Didn't get a chase from Carson-Newman's third baseman, Gibson, who stays alive. Bose at second and McLean at first. Eagles trying to strike first here in the second. Deloach a pause. A look back at the runner, and the pitch is going to break into the zone. Strike 3 call. Second time James Deloach gets a Carson-Newman hitter looking for strike 3 on the backdoor breaking ball. We head to the bottom of the second, scoreless baseball here from Founders Stadium here in Gaffney, South Carolina.
Protect your home from unwanted electrical surges like lightning. AEC can install a surge protection device at your electric meter. The device works by diverting excess voltage either back into the system or to the ground. AEC also offers power strips for use inside your home to protect electronics and other items. The cost of this protective service from AEC is $9.95 per month. Ordering today affords you no connection fee. AEC. We're power with purpose.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long. From the morning with their $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Back for the bottom of the second inning. Andrew Rogers, glad to have you alongside here on the Eagles Sports Network. Scoreless contest here between Limestone and Carson-Newman. The Saints 8-14 this year, 3-6 in league action. Carson-Newman 12-12, 5-1 in league action. Saints trying to win a conference series here against the Eagles. Breaking ball from the right-hander Pridmore. Drops into the dirt to the left-handed hitting Davis Turner for ball 1. Pridmore, a scoreless first inning, did allow a leadoff hit to Peter Adams, but was able to escape that inning and get 3 consecutive ground ball outs. Righty gets into his windup and I think slipped as he made his initial step and goes wide and outside with the fastball. 2 balls, no strikes. Set the Eagles defense. Trey Miller is at short. He's joined on the left side of the infield by Aiden Gibson. Will Gibbs and James Denton make up the right side of the infield. Mitchell Ballant behind the plate as Turner swings and takes a big hack at a fastball for strike 1. Left, right in the outfield, Nelson, Smith in left, McLean, and Potts. Out there arranging the outfield for Carson-Newman in this contest. Breaking ball blocked by Ballin at the plate. It's 3-1. Pridmore's 3-1 is popped up in the infield. Miller on the second base side of the bag calls off Will Gibbs, makes the catch for out number 1. So well done by Trey Miller. He was playing up the middle, more toward up the middle on that initial play. And so that allowed him to get in good position, call off Gibbs, who was more toward the hole at second, through the right side of the infield. And now Pridmore able to get the first batter of the inning retired, and now faces Jack Davis. Jack Davis, the left fielder, a freshman just making his 4th start of the year. 0-1 is popped up in foul ground. Ballin back makes the catch, 2 outs. Davis didn't get a whole lot of it, and it was not hit very high as well, but he was able to do enough. But was not able to do enough to get it to the backstop and out of play. Ballin tracks it down, out number 2. Well done by Mitchell Ballin behind the plate. The awareness to go back to make the catch. And now Wyatt Stone with 2 outs. Left-handed hitting Stone will take fastball outside from Pridmore for a ball. 1-0 count, bottom of the second inning. 2 outs. Pridmore's got to pop up twice for the first 2 outs. 1 in foul ground, 1 in fair territory. This ball is driven out toward center field. McLean on the run is going to watch this one hop up against the wall. And it'll be a 2-out double for Wyatt Stone. Well hit baseball by Stone. Now Daniel Baroa to the plate. Perfect opportunity for him to snap a hitless streak at the plate. He's hitless in his last 13 at-bats. Trying to change that here in the second with 2 outs. Baroa steps in from the right side. Pridmore comes set, has to work from the stretch. Now on the pitch. It is going to break low below the knees, ball 1. Well, both innings now for Limestone. They've been able to get runners in scoring position. Peter Adams singled, advanced to second with 2 outs, but was stranded there. Another opportunity for the Saints with 2 outs. Pitch was outside. Throw to second, trying to back pick the runner Stone. He's back safely on a head first dive. 2 balls, no strikes. Two balls, no strikes as the right-handed pitcher Pridmore takes a deep breath. He comes set, a look back at the runner. He'll throw back to the runner, and he got him. A pickoff at second. Pridmore with the quick turn. Miller with the tag at short. And they pick off Wyatt Stone at second. The Saints once again get an opportunity to score but come up empty. We're scoreless through the first 2 innings. So we head to the third here on the Eagles Sports Network.
Protect your home from unwanted electrical surges like lightning. AEC can install a surge protection device at your electric meter. The device works by diverting excess voltage either back into the system or to the ground. AEC also offers power strips for use inside your home to protect electronics and other items. The cost of this protective service from AEC is $9.95 per month. Ordering today affords you no connection fee. AEC. We're power with purpose.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long. From the morning with their $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Top of the third inning. Carson-Newman and Limestone in action here on this Saturday afternoon in March. Saints have 2 hits. Carson-Newman has 1. That 1 hit coming in the second inning. Off the bat of Zach Bose. Will Gibbs to the plate for Carson-Newman. Tweed off the third. He's the 9-hitter for Carson-Newman. The second baseman takes called strike 1 from Deloach. 54-degree day here in Gaffney, South Carolina. Sunny skies. We'll expect it to get up to about 56, 57 by the 4 or 5 o'clock range. 0-1 is below the knees for a ball. Tomorrow's series finale, it'll maybe get into the 50s. It'll be a chilly Sunday to wrap up this series. Swing and a miss from Gibbs on the breaking ball from Deloach, who is a strike away from getting his longest appearance of the season. 6 outs was his longest previously. And he's put up 2 scoreless frames so far, certainly his best outing of the season. The lefty winds, delivers a pitch just outside. Good frame from the catcher. Turner thought he maybe had strike 3 instead. Deloach back to the rubber with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. The pitch is popped up over top the press box and out of play. Top starter on this team is Jake Contino. Contino is a 6'3" junior right-hander from Mooresville, North Carolina. I'm guessing Carson-Newman will see him in the second game, which will be a 7-inning game as Deloach goes to the breaking ball, and it's a little bit high, 3-2. Once again, got ahead of Gibbs, but has now lost him. And the count is full. 3-2 pitch. High again, same spot for ball 4. So a leadoff walk after Deloach got ahead of Will Gibbs. And now Trey Miller. Miller with 14 runs driven in, trying to get Carson-Newman some life here in the third. There's a low fastball from Deloach. It's a ball 1. Gibbs with a nice sizable lead at first against the lefty Deloach as Miller steps back in and Deloach will throw over to first. Gibbs back safely on a head-first dive. Carson-Newman softball in action back in Mossy Creek. A 5-5 game in the 5th. This bunt attempt by Miller is fouled back. Ball on a strike now on Carson-Newman's shortstop. Eagles softball team with a 4-run 4th inning to take the 5-3 lead. But Newberry answered there in the top half of the 5th inning to score 2 to tie it. In the bottom of the 5th inning, a 5-5 game there with number 24, Carson-Newman. On the softball side and a doubleheader as well against Newberry, though, back on the banks of Mossy Creek. Top of the third here. Ball and a strike on Miller as Deloach picks over to first base at Gibbs for the second consecutive time, but Gibbs back safely again. Third baseman for the Saints, Love, in on the grass. The grass infield here as Miller bunts it foul again off to the right side, more toward the on-deck circle, just in front of the Carson-Newman dugout on the first base side. 2 strikes. An infield grass, dirt along the base paths. Got a grass infield, grass outfield. Miller goes down on the breaking ball, swinging a miss, strike 3. DeLoach has his 4th punch out, and that's the first out of the inning. James DeLoach continues to pitch well out there for Limestone, and he's now gone his longest so far this year, 2 1/3. Now Nelson Smith. Now Carson-Newman wants to play this sequence here with Allen and Gibbs at first base as Smith takes a slider for a ball, 1-0. Carson-Newman's been aggressive at times this season. Was very aggressive last weekend against UVA. Is not afraid to put runners in motion, hit and run, swipe some bases. Certainly tested the UVA-wise pitching and defense in those outings. Lefty comes set, a pick over, or a look over. Now Gibbs will take off. And the ball was thrown down to second. The second baseman, Stone, bobbled it. Gibbs was halfway to second and then realized that he wasn't going to make it, put on the brakes, and sprinted back to first. He's back safely thanks to Stone not being able to handle it cleanly, but he's shaken up. It had to be a missed sign from Carson-Newman. Gibbs maybe thought it was a hit and run. Smith maybe didn't see the sign and thought it was a take pitch or just didn't like the pitch he saw, and so he didn't swing, and Gibbs was not really sprinting. He was just kind of, we'll say, 80% running, expecting Smith to swing away at it. And so as a runner, you sprint for a second, and then you get to the point where the pitch is delivered. You wait and see where that ball is, but it wasn't put in play, so Gibbs just kind of stopped in between the first and second base bag. Luckily, he was able to get back to first, but the concern right now is Wyatt Stone at second. He was shaken up, couldn't tell initially on where that baseball maybe hit him. On that throw, it definitely hit him, though, and he didn't field it cleanly. He's joined out there by his other infielders and the head coach, Brett Harker. And it seems like he'll be okay. And try to walk it off. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out. And we'll reset here as Stone seems to be okay at second base. He works back over there. All right, so DeLoach back to work in a 2-ball, no-strike count against Nelson Smith, who's over 1. He struck out against DeLoach back in the first. Lefty's pitch is high, ball 3. That's been the only thing that James DeLoach has struggled with in this start. He's only allowed 1 hit, but he's walked 2 batters. He walked Gibbs and McLean. Here's a 3-0 pitch at the knees for a called strike, with Smith taking all the way. Eagles 1-9 away from the Silver Diamond Baseball Complex this year. Just 1 win away from home. That was in Pennsylvania against Cal UPA. Here's a softly hit flare to center, and Barrio comes on, makes the catch, 2 outs. He hung up enough for the speedy center fielder to track it down, and there's 2 outs. And now James Denton. So DeLoach, the lefty's given Carson-Newman some fits here early on at the plate. Just the 1 hit off the bat of Bose down the line at third to show for Carson-Newman. And now James Denton in the lefty-lefty matchup. Carson-Newman this year 1-4 against left-handed starters. The pitch is bunted. DeLoach will field, and his throw is in time. Not the greatest bunt from James Denton. Tried to get it down the line. It was fielded cleanly by Deloche, through to first in time for the final out of the inning. We're through 2.5. It's Carson-Newman nothing, Limestone nothing here on the Eagles Sports Network.
We love to cheer for our home teams, like the Eagles. It means more when we're rooting for the people we know. Did you know Tri-Lite is your home team internet provider? We're right here in Jefferson City, serving the people we know with our ultra-fast, ultra-reliable fiber broadband network. And we'd love to serve you. Learn more at trilite.net or by calling 833-847-0824. Go Eagles!
Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles.
Glad to have you back to Founders Stadium here in Gaffney, South Carolina. Andrew Rogers, glad to have you alongside here on the Eagles Sports Network all weekend. You can listen to the action here at cneagles.com/audio. Eagles riding a 5-game winning streak in conference play this weekend, trying to get win number 2 on the road this year. Carson-Newman 1-9 on the road, trying to change that mark in a positive way this weekend. Bottom of the third inning, so we get this inning underway with Barrow, Janelle Baroa, and Baroa takes low and away for ball 1. The center fielder, we mentioned before, the pickoff of Stone at second, hitless in his last 13 plate appearances. Righty hoping to get his bat working here in this series as he flies one out toward left field. Nelson Smith back just shy of the warning track in left center field, makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So good work from Pridmore to continue to counter what Deloche has been able to do for the Saints. And now Gavin Troyer, the right fielder. A sun-soaked Founders Stadium here on this Saturday afternoon, the first of 2. It is a little bit breezy. Jackets needed on this mid-March Saturday as Troyer taps one back to the backstop for a foul ball, 0-1. Righty's into his windup. The 0-1 is slapped up the middle into center field, base hit. Troyer threw his hands at it, did enough to sneak it up the middle for a base knock. And now back to the top of the order for Peter Adams. Well, that's what this Limestone team wants to see. Head coach Brett Harker and his staff like to get production from the bottom, because then it sets yourself up in a situation like this with one of the conference's best hitters in Peter Adams at the plate. Team's best hitter in terms of batting average steps in with a runner aboard and an out in the third. Shortstop hits from the right side, shows bunt, pulls it back, swings away. It's a one-hopper to Gibson at third. He'll field and throw across the diamond to Denton in time for the out. And there's 2 outs. So he showed bunt, pulled it back, swung away, barely made contact with it, and luckily Gibson was already in on the grass because of the shortstop Adams showing bunt. So Gibson was already in to field that softly hit ground ball. If he's not in on the grass, that's probably an infield base hit. Instead, Gibson was in the right spot and reacted well for the second out. And now Noah Love. Third consecutive inning, the Saints have a runner at second and 2 outs. Jobber to third, Gibson on the run, throw across, in time. Aiden Gibson with back-to-back plays at the hot corner. And Noah Pridmore induces the Saints into a pair of ground ball outs to end the third. Carson-Newman and Limestone deadlocked in the scoreless contest here on the Eagle Sports Network.
Protect your home from unwanted electrical surges like lightning. AEC can install a surge protection device at your electric meter. The device works by diverting excess voltage either back into the system or to the ground. AEC also offers power strips for use inside your home to protect electronics and other items. The cost of this protective service from AEC is $9.95 per month. Ordering today affords you no connection fee. AEC. We're power with purpose.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long. From the morning with their $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
We love to cheer for our...
Back for the top of the fourth inning. We've got a pitcher's duel on our hands in the early stages of game number one. We're through three, and the two teams combined for 4 hits. The Saints have stranded runners in all 3 innings. Carson-Newman stranded runners in 2 of the 3 innings. As 4, 5, and 6 due up for Carson-Newman's Eagles. And Mitchell Ballant fouls it back to the backstop for strike 1. We mentioned the Eagles' 1-9 mark on the road, trying to right the ship this season on the road and carry what they've been able to do so well at the Silver Diamond Baseball Complex away from there, bring it on the road and play just as well. Unfortunately, that has not been the case this season. And so far, the pitching and defense has been there. The bats need to warm up a little bit on this chilly March Saturday. Swing and a miss from Ballant, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball and 2 strikes to lead off the fourth. Pitch is grounded on a chopper to Love at third. He bobbles it, throw to first. Not in time. Initially got his glove on it, did the third baseman Noah Love, but unfortunately could not hold on to it, balance aboard, and that'll go down as an E5. And now Zach Bose to the plate. This is a Limestone team in the bottom 30 in the country in fielding percentage. They've made errors now in 19 of their 33 games. And they've got 12 games with multiple errors. Here's a ball in the dirt. 4-1. One ball and no strikes. Deloach will throw over to check on the runner Ballant at first. And he's back on a dive safely. Deloach just catches the zone on a pitch to Bose for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Eagles with the leadoff guy aboard for the second time in 4 tries. Trying to strike first here in Gaffney. Pitch breaks down into the dirt. The veteran Bose stayed away. Two balls and 1 strike to Zach Bose. He's responsible for Carson-Newman's only hit so far. Lefty Deloach set the pitch, bounced in. It's scooped up, though, by Turner before Ballant can think about moving on or up to second base. Good shot by the catcher, Turner. And now with a favorable count, Zach Bose steps back in. 3-1. Grounded toward the shortstop. Adams fields cleanly his throw to first in time. A 6-3 double play. 2 outs now for Dalton McLean. Well done by Adams at short. Peter Adams did a good job to field it cleanly near the second base bag on a softly hit ball, too. Fielded it cleanly, stepped on the bag, made a strong throw to first for the 6-3 double play. 2 outs. And now Dalton McLean. McLean walked back in the second inning, and he'll take low for ball 1. One ball and no strikes, 2 outs. Eagles with just the 1 hit to show right now. They've got 4 runners on base, 2 walks, 1 by an error, 1 by a hit, but have not been able to strike for a RBI base hit to get a run on the board so far as McLean fouls one back. 4 strike 1, a ball and a strike, 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning on a sunny day here in Gaffney, South Carolina. Lefty DeLoach with the pitch, fouled back, strike 2. DeLoach so far with good numbers. The 1 hit allowed, a couple of walks, but 4 strikeouts. He's a strike away from getting a 5th as McLean steps back in, trying to extend this 4th. For Carson-Newman, the pitch breaks a little bit high on the slider from the big lefty. It stays 2-2. Two pitch. Grounded back up the middle. Adams fields it. Hat falls off. The throw in time. How about Peter Adams? His shortstop position. He had to sprint over behind the second base bag, field it cleanly, and as his hat was falling off, make a strong throw to first. And it goes down as a 1-2-3 inning for the Saints. We head to the bottom of the 4th. We've got a good pitching and defensive game here in Game 1 here on the Eagles Sports Network.
Fast, ultra viable fiber brought. Learn more at trilite.net or by calling 833-847-0824. Go Eagles!
Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles.
Back for the bottom of the 4th inning. 3-4 and 5-2 up for the Saints in the 4th. 3 hits in the inning, or in the contest in the first 3 innings, 1 in each for Limestone. Both teams have gotten runners aboard, but neither have been able to strike for anything just yet, as Zach O'Malley taps one foul at the plate for strike 1. Good crowd on hand on this Saturday afternoon. Good Carson-Newman crowd making the trip down from Jefferson City. The 0-1 from Pridmore is lined into center field. McLean on the run, ranging to his right, makes the catch, 1 out. He was lined up in a good spot to be able to track that ball down before it got into the gap. And there's 1 out for Dylan Shugan. Right-hander Pridmore so far is allowed 3 hits, no walks, no strikeouts. A guy that at times this year has been able to show that he can punch people out, and retired batters himself has not required a strikeout just yet. Starts Shugan with a strike on the outside corner. Righty Pridmore coming off a 5 strikeout performance against Wise. His season high is 7. That was against Martinsville back on the 4th. Breaking ball breaks low. 4-1. 1-1 strike with an out in the full. Shugan lifts one out towards center field. That's the second out of the inning. A deep fly ball out to center field by the first baseman Dylan Shugan, and McLean tracked it down in the gap there for an out. 2 out now, and Pridmore an out away from another 1-2-3 inning. He'll face Davis Turner. Pridmore into his windup to face Turner for the second time. In the first pitch to the Limestone catcher, breaks in for a called strike at the knees. 0-1, a quick moving game 1 here from Founders Stadium. 0-1. It breaks outside, a ball and a strike. We're approaching hour 1, and we're close to finishing the 4th. Pretty good pace to this one so far. The righty into his windup, the 1-1 offering to Turner. It's going to break low and inside. Turner checked his swing, and the third base umpire up the line says he went around on the appeal from Ballin at the plate. 2 strikes on the Limestone catcher. Pridmore looking for the 1-2-3 inning. The righty's got the sign from Ballin, a big deep breath, a shoulder shrug as he gets into his windup with his jersey flapping in the wind, and the pitch is delivered, and it's hit out toward left center field in the gap. This is down for extra bases. McLean all the way down to the wall is going to make a strong throw in that Gibbs nearly dropped out there in the outfield grass, and it's a 2-out double for Davis Turner. So good piece of 2-out hitting from Davis Turner and the Saints. They continue to put together some nice quality at-bats despite getting in tough situations. That's the second 2-out double of the day. Wyatt Stone had a 2-out double in the second, and now a 2-out double from Davis Turner. So 2-out life for the Saints to give way to Jack Davis, the freshman outfielder. First pitch he sees is a called strike at the knees. He popped out last time in foul ground in his only plate appearance. A 4-hit effort for the Saints so far. Righty Pridmore comes set. A look back at the runner, another peek at him. A long look at him this time, and now the 0-1 pitch is outside for ball 1. Always got to change your look backs as a pitcher. You never want the base runners, even though there'll be different runners out there occasionally, you never want the same look back approach. You want to change it up on the runners. That time Pridmore certainly did. He doesn't look at the runner this time and gets Davis to hit one off the end of his bat, foul for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. The runner at second in a scoreless contest, bottom of the 4th. Pridmore trying to keep this game scoreless. The righty set the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Noah Pridmore's first strikeout, a big one. It strikes out Davis and strands the Saints 2-out base runner at second base. We're through 4. Carson-Newman nothing, Limestone nothing. Can the Eagles strike first? Find out if they can after this here on the Eagles Sports Network. Carson-Newman sends the bottom part of its order to the plate. 7, 8, 9 due up for the Eagles in the 5th inning. It's been a pretty exciting contest. A lot of pitching and defense to talk about so far. James DeLoach entered with his longest start this year being 2 innings. He's put together a fabulous start of 4 innings and 1-hit baseball. Scoreless outing for him despite 2 walks. And he gets Potts to fly one out to left center field. It's the left fielder being called out by Roa, able to call off the left fielder Davis to make the catch in the gap for the first out of the inning. Potts now over 2 at the dish, and now Eden Gibson. Certainly these two teams like to get off to the good start in this doubleheader and start in an effective way. Righty Gibson steps back in. The lefty Deloach pitches inside for a ball. 1-1 strike. We mentioned 325 down the lines here at Founders Stadium. 385 out towards center field. That's the deepest part of the park. It's a nice baseball field here in Gaffney, South Carolina. Renovated in 2014. Was named Founders Federal Credit Union Stadium after a generous contribution from Founders Federal Credit Union. Here's a ground ball left side. Gibson will run it out. Adams on the run, fields it. Hat falls off again. He makes the play, 2 outs. Couple of outs now quickly on Carson-Newman, and now Will Gibbs to the plate. Not a lot of offense either way, particularly for Carson-Newman, who's just got the one Bose double down the line to speak of so far. Gibbs walked in his first plate appearance. He's responsible for one of the walks drawn against Deloach. Pitch is on the outside corner. Gibbs took a strike. With that renovation, new windscreens along the outfield fence. They added the blue monster in left field, very similar to Carson-Newman's green monster back in the Silver Diamond Baseball Complex. It's about the same height, so it makes it somewhat difficult to hit a home run out to left. Although both left and right field are the shortest part of the park. Here's a foul back by Gibbs, strike 2. Well, Carson-Newman softball run rules Newberry. We mentioned it was 5-5 in the 5th. Carson-Newman scored 9 runs in the 5th inning to take down the Wolves 14-5. An explosion of an inning for Carson-Newman. Deloach goes to the slider, a backdoor slider that gets Gibbs looking for strike 3. Eagles go down in order. They have just 1 hit through 5 tries against James DeLoach, who's pitching a gem for the Saints right now. Noah Pridmore back to the mound, trying to keep this game scoreless here on the Eagles Sports Network.
We love to cheer for our home teams, like the Eagles. It means more when we're rooting for the people we know. Did you know Tri-Lite is your home team internet provider? We're right here in Jefferson City, serving the people we know with our ultra-fast, ultra-reliable fiber broadband network. And we'd love to serve you. Learn more at trilite.net or by calling 833-847-0824. Go Eagles!
Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles.
exciting baseball rolls on here from Founders Stadium. Limestone and Carson-Newman deadlocked in a scoreless contest here on the Eagles Sports Network. Andrew Rogers here with you all weekend. Gaffney, South Carolina. The South Atlantic Conference Baseball Series. Noah Pridmore goes down low with a fastball, and it misses for ball one. Well, so far, it's been a pitcher's battle both ways. Here's a breaking ball in for a strike to Wyatt Stone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Stone doubled off. Pridmore back in the second. One pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Good pitch in from Pridmore. And he works ahead on the leadoff hitter, Wyatt Stone. One-two pitch from the righty, Pridmore. Just a little bit low on the fastball in. 2-2. Pridmore into his windup, and the righty's 2-2 pitch to start the fifth outside, 3-2. Lost him, or nearly lost that fastball that went outside, and it's 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes to start the bottom of the fifth inning. Righty back to the rubber. The pitch is line foul just over top the dugout. It actually ricocheted off the netting near the dugout and had forced some of the Saints players that were standing up top the dugout to duck quickly. That ball coming in foul ground. Another 3-2 from Pridmore. It's lined foul on the ground down the line at third. Good battle here from Stone from the left side of the batter's box and the righty Pridmore. Well, certainly this is a nice matchup that Stone has been trying to take advantage of, the righty-lefty matchup. Righty Pridmore back into his windup. A third 3-2 pitch is fouled off again. This one veers out of play with Nelson Smith sprinting over into foul ground, but he's unable to get there and make the play. So we stay at 3-2, and we'll have a fourth payoff pitch to come. The righty Pridmore has the sign from Balland, and into his windup, the 3-2. He lost him with a breaking ball outside, ball 4. Well, tip the cap to Wyatt Stone for that quality at-bat. Certainly Pridmore needed to make several good pitches in that plate appearance and eventually just lost him with the breaking ball. And now Janelle Baroa to the plate. He's 0 for his last 14, trying to change this streak he's on and get off the schneid. Pridmore will step off and take his time, throwing it over to Denton with a soft throw to first. Pridmore set from the stretch, and he'll throw back over again to Stone. Pridmore breaking ball to Baroa for a strike. Good pitch from the right-hander to start Baroa with a strike. Well, Stone does have a little bit of speed out there. He has 2 stolen bases. The team leader is Noah Love. He's 6 for 6. Stone 2 for 2, swiping bags this year. Righty Pridmore set, and now he'll throw back over again. Busy day in the South Atlantic Conference. Nobody played yesterday with the weather just throughout the southeast region not being very good. And so we'll walk you through the scores throughout today's action. Here's a breaking ball that is hit off the end of the bat into left field. It'll drop base hit. Baroa's got his hit the streak ended on a soft flare to left. And there's 2 aboard with no one out. So just a ball in no man's land. Not hit very well, but too deep for Smith and too far out. Or too softly hit for Smith to come into and too deeply hit for Miller at short to range out and get. And now decision time for the Saints. Now they want to play this first and second situation. You have Gavin Troyer at the plate. He's 1 for 1 today. And then you got Peter Adams on deck. So do you bunt with Troyer, get the runners in scoring position, and give your best hitter on the team an opportunity to make the game no longer scoreless? We'll see. The lefty Troyer into the batter's box after a brief discussion with his third base coach and head coach Brett Harker. He's already showing bunt. Corner infielders peer in, and Pridmore will throw to second. Nearly picked off Stone at second. He's already picked off Wyatt once there, and he nearly had a second pickoff successfully on Stone that time on a quick move with Miller covering. That's the thing. Sometimes these runners want to get a lead and a head start when this sacrifice is an option, as Troyer shows bunt, kept it there, but pulls it back at the last second as Pridmore went upstairs and missed with a high fastball 1-0. So it seems like Troyer is certainly going to lay down a sacrifice here, or at least attempt to. Miller at second, or Miller's the shortstop close to the bag at second. Gibson and Denton in on the grass. Denton charges. The bunt is placed right at the plate. Ballant goes to third with it, and he gets the force. Just not a good enough bunt from Troyer. It didn't even leave the infield dirt around the batter's box. Ballant took one step, fielded it with his bare hand, and threw a strike to Gibson at third for the force. Well done, and that's why you leave the runner the fielder Gibson at third. You don't charge your third baseman in that situation, because if it's not that good of a bunt and you have the force there, you keep Gibson at third, and that's exactly what Carson-Newman did. They kept Gibson at third. Ballant throws to third for that force out, and now Peter Adams, who takes ball 1. Well, just good understanding of the situation and good coaching from Carson-Newman's side of things as well, and Tom Griffin to recognize the situation and understand that force out at third is certainly in play. They got that out, and now with one out, the double play ball could end the inning. Called strike from Pridmore to Peter Adams. 1 for 2 is Adams. He's got 8 multi-hit games this year, and he only has 6 strikeouts this season. He's been really good at the plate. He's been tough to get out. 6 strikeouts and now 60 ABs. Righty Pridmore comes set. A look back at the runner and the pitch. Adams checked his swing. The pitch was inside for ball 2. The appeal to first unsuccessful. Looked like Adams maybe tried to go around, but fully did not, and so he works the count to 2-1. To aboard for the Saints in the 5th. Pridmore comes set. A couple of lookbacks to the runner in the pitch. Swing and a miss. The breaking ball from Noah Pridmore gets Adams to fan at it. Strike 2. 5 hits for the Saints. No runs to show for it right now. Noah Pridmore trying to get the Eagles back to the bat rack in a scoreless game. He's a double play ball from doing so. The junior right-hander comes set. A long pause in the pitch. Grounded foul. Right back to the backstop. It stays 2-2. Once again, the first of 2 games this afternoon. This is the longer one, the 9-inning game, and then the second game will be a 7-inning matchup before the series finale tomorrow. Pridmore comes set from the stretch. Runners at first and second with one out in the bottom of the fifth. The pitch, fastball high, ball 3. So Pridmore has fallen behind again. He's behind 3-2. Tusculum and Marcel tied at 7, the 8th. Coker ahead of Catawba 7-4. Wingate 9-1 lead over Lenore Rhine. Just a couple of scores we'll talk about throughout the day. 3-2 pitch. Pridmore will throw back to second. Baroa at second, Troyer at first. With Adams, the best hitter for Limestone at the plate. Team's leader in batting average. Trying to deliver. He chokes up on the bat and waits for a 3-2 from the righty Pridmore. The pitch. Grounded on the hands, foul. That ball would have got into the left field gap and would have scored at least a run. Wasn't hit all that hard, but Gibson was off the bag enough at third. It was going to squeeze by him and get into left field. 2-2, or check that 3-2 again. We'll wait for another payoff pitch. Pridmore set. A look at the runner, and another 3-2 is tapped foul again. A strong AB here from Peter Adams. The sophomore from North Augusta, South Carolina, trying to deliver the game's first run. Another 3-2. Pridmore has the hit right back up the middle. Gibbs fields it at the bag at second. The throw to first. Bounced in. Denton scooped it up, but not in time. Adams beats out the throw. It's a fielder's choice, and there's 2 outs. Well, Gibbs had to just barely step in front of the bag at second, because if that ball takes one more bounce in front of Gibbs, it hits the second base bag and probably scores runs, or at least one run. It gets away from Gibbs, but he wisely stepped in front of the bag, fielded it cleanly, and then stepped on the bag at second, made a late throw to first, could not get the double play. But regardless, there's 2 outs, and Tom Griffin trots out from the first base dugout to have a chat with his infield and his pitcher, Noah Pridmore. First and third, 2 outs, and a scoreless game between Carson-Newman and Limestone. Eagles trying to escape this 5th inning and get back to the plate with a chance to strike first. Once again, a quality crowd on hand. It was a busy day on the campus here of Limestone University. Saints had lacrosse going on at about noon. I think they've got men's volleyball action today. Had spring football practice this morning when we pulled in just after 11:30. So a busy day here on the campus of Limestone University, and a good crowd and a good showing here for the 8-win Saints. Trying to strike first against Carson-Newman. Eagles trying to get back above 500 and extend this conference winning streak. Noah Pridmore to face Noah Love. The pitch, swing, and it's strike 1. Love behind on the breaking pitch from Pridmore. Noah versus Noah with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Love is 0 for 2. He's 1 for his last 14 at the plate. Mike Baroa has been in a funk at the plate, trying to change that here. Pridmore picks over to first. No tag from Denton. Prior to this slump for Love, he had a 9-game hitting streak. He was playing very well. And hitting the baseball well. He's above 300 for the season, but has been in a funk lately, and that batting average has dipped to 319. But he leads the team in runs batted in, trying to add to that total with 2 outs in the 5th. Pridmore's 0-1 is grounded up the middle. Miller will field on a couple of hops, take it to the bag at second himself for the final out of the inning. Saints get more runners on base, but they strand two. They had first and second, no one out. The Eagles escape it. We head to the sixth. We have scoreless baseball here from Founders Stadium. It's Carson-Newman nothing, Limestone nothing. Eagles look to strike first after this on the Eagles Sports Network.
We love to cheer for our home teams, like the Eagles. It means more when we're rooting for the people we know. Did you know Tri-Light is your home team internet provider? We're right here in Jefferson City, serving the people we know with our ultra-fast, ultra-reliable fiber broadband network. And we'd love to serve you. Learn more at trilight.net or by calling 833-847-0824. Go Eagles!
Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles.
Now back to Founders Stadium in a scoreless game between Carson-Newman and Limestone. Eagles hoping to strike first. They've got one hit in 5 tries against left-handed starter James DeLoach. The lefty came in with a total of 6 innings pitched, and he's 1 inning away from doing that in this start alone. Breaking ball to Miller's a called strike. 2 programs have met 47 times since 1988 as Miller drives one out to right center field. This ball is not going to get down. A rangy and speedy right fielder, Gavin Troyer, over to make the catch, 1 out. Miller lifted one out there in the gap, but Troyer with good speed to track it down for the first out, and now Nelson Smith. But Carson-Newman and Limestone have met 47 times. The Eagles hold the 29-18 overall advantage thanks to a strong mark in Mossy Creek. Here's a bunt foul by Smith. He would have beat out a throw. It was a well-placed bunt down the line at third, but it veered foul. Eagles are 13-1 in games played in Mossy Creek, but 14-17 at Limestone. Eagles have won 9 of the last 11 meetings, including series wins and 3 straight trips here to Gaffney, South Carolina. Eagles have won 5 in a row and 11 of the last 12, with the lone exception coming on February of 2020. 0-1 pitch from DeLoach is a called strike to Smith, 0-2. It was a 4-3 loss back there in February of 2021. During this stretch, Carson-Newman has outscored the Saints 126-84, a plus 42 run differential with 5 games in double figures. But right now, 0 on the board for Carson-Newman's Eagles as Smith fouls one back. And it stays at 0-2. Last year, Tom Griffin's club racked up 31 runs and held the Saints to just 13 in the 3-game sweep to begin April. But again, no runs to show for right now. It's been about James DeLoach, who leaps up on that ground ball from Smith, throws to first, 2 outs. The lefty DeLoach has given Carson-Newman problems, and he's an out away from getting a 6-inning
First baseman number 20, James Denton.
1-hitter under his belt so far. The lefty will face James Denton. Batters faced for DeLoach, 5 2/3, 3 strikeouts. Check that. 4 strikeouts. Or I should say 5 strikeouts. 2 walks. 1 hit. It's a double by Bose. Denton takes a straight as Deloach works from the stretch. Lefty comes set. And the pitch is lifted foul onto the practice field off to the left side. 0-2. Eagles trying to avoid going down in order for the second straight inning. The pitch bounced in, ball 1. The Eagles reached, last batter to reach was Ballant, reaching on an error by the third baseman Love. But Bose ended up grounding into a double play, and McLean grounded out afterward. And that's also when Carson-Newman went down in order. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. The ball's overthrown by Shugan, but he's out anyway. They're going to say interference. That Denton was in the line of the catcher and the first baseman, Shugan, to field it. So Denton was going to beat out the throw, but they're going to say the catcher was interfered by the base running of James Denton. It's a 1-2-3 inning, a 6-strikeout, 6-inning, 1-hitter for James Deloach. He's shut down the Eagles so far. Noah Pridmore back to the rubber in a scoreless game here on the Eagles Sports Network.
We love to cheer for our home teams, like the Eagles. It means more when we're rooting for the people we know. Did you know Tri-Lite is your home team internet provider? We're right here in Jefferson City, serving the people we know with our ultra-fast, ultra-reliable fiber broadband network. And we'd love to serve you. Learn more at trilite.net or by calling 833-847-0824. Go Eagles!
Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles.
Back for the bottom of the 6th inning. Scoreless baseball here in Gaffney, South Carolina, between Carson-Newman and Limestone. Andrew Rogers going to have him alongside for today's action. Carson-Newman enters the weekend 1-9 on the road, trying to get its second win and extend what is a 5-game conference winning streak here to 6 games here in game number 1. The first pitch of the inning is hit out toward right center field. It'll drop in, base hit. First pitch swinging is the designated hitter, Zach O'Malley. He's got his first hit, and Limestone quickly back in business in the 6th. Well, the story is relatively the same for Carson-Newman's Eagles, a team that on the road offensively has struggled. They have scored 7 runs or more on the road twice. Once in their only win, an 8-6 win against Cal U back on 25th of February. They scored 7 against West Georgia back on February 13th on the road as well. Here's a swing and a miss on a breaking ball to Shugan. He chased on a slider for strike 1. But besides that, Carson-Newman has managed less than 4 runs in every other road matchup this season. It's Carson-Newman's first road game as well since that Cal U trip. Pop up in the infield. Miller behind the bag at second, just into the outfield grass, makes the catch, 1 out. Shugan retired on a pop out, and there's 1 out. So first road trip for Carson-Newman's Eagles in nearly a month. They had spent a lot of time on the banks of Mossy Creek. They were supposed to play Trevecca Nazarene in a road non-conference game early last week. Got canceled due to Trevecca needing to play a Monday series in conference, and so they just decided to cancel it. And so Carson-Newman just getting back on the road for the first time in a while after that 10-game stretch early on. Here's a called strike to start Davis Turner's third plate appearance. Turner 1 for 2. Tell you what, this bottom of the order for Limestone's been pretty solid. They've combined to go 4 of 9 at the plate. 5 through 8, or 5 through 9, I should say, in the batting order that I'm counting. 5 through 9 has been pretty solid. They made up 4 of the 6 Limestone hits. No balls and a strike on Davis Turner. The lefty steps back in to wait for an 0-1 from the righty Pridmore. In the pitch. Called strike on the inside corner at the knees. Pridmore 2 outs away here as well from going 6 innings. He's done that 3 times this year. The other times he recorded just 1 win, though, in those 3 6-inning outings. As he picks over to O'Malley at first, who's back on a dive safely. Left-handed hitters this year coming in hitting .242 against Pridmore. Turner trying to get another knock here. As this ball gets away from Ballin, it's going to go to the backstop, and O'Malley sprints to second. Oh, that works as a sacrifice. Wild pitch gets away, and so it allows the runner to get to second with 1 out. One-two. Pridmore comes set. I'll look back at the runner. And the 1-2 pitch. It's grounded right side. Gibbs off a couple of hops fields. It flips to Denton for the out. Well done. 2 outs. And it brings Jack Davis to the plate. Well, here we are again with Limestone in a situation to take the lead. They've stranded 5 runners already in this game. And they've got yet another inning with runners in scoring position. The pitch to Davis is a called strike at the letters. They stranded they stranded Beria at third in the 5th. They stranded Turner at second in the 3rd. They stranded Stroyer again in the 3rd. And they left Stone at second. He got picked off. So they left runners in scoring position each time they've got a guy aboard. Pridmore ahead 0-2. It's Jack Davis, who's 0 for 2 at the plate. The righty Pridmore into his windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Noah Pridmore leaps for joy. He strikes out Jack Davis on 3 pitches. We head to the 7th. Carson-Newman nothing. Limestone nothing. Pridmore versus Deloach. Those 2 pitchers have put on a show. Can Carson-Newman get something going at the plate? We'll find out after this here on the Eagles Sports Network.
Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles.
To the 7th we go. 4, 5, and 6 for Carson-Newman. Due up. Eagles with just 1 hit. It was a 2nd inning double from Zach Bose. He's on deck. Ballant leads things off against the lefty James Deloach, who misses inside for ball 1. It looked like Deloach there in the 2nd and 3rd innings was going to lose a little bit of his command. He walked a pair of batters, but has settled in here in the middle innings and has put together certainly his best outing of the year. The pitch inside. It got away from the catcher, Turner. Nobody on base, and so it doesn't hurt anything. 2-0. Well, Carson-Newman only has that one hit. You got to figure when they get guys aboard, you have to try to figure out a way to manufacture a run here late in this game and help out your starter, Noah Pridmore, who has thrown just as good of a gem as James Deloach. The pitch, swing and a miss. Ballant chased a fastball, 2-2. Ballant leading off the 7th, the 2-2. Called strike 3, went to the slider, it broke in at the knees, 1 out. That backdoor slider to these right-handed Carson-Newman hitters has been deadly today. Deloach with strikeout number 7. Keep in mind, he entered the day with a total of 6 innings pitched. He has surpassed that mark now, but he entered the day with 5 strikeouts on the year. He's got 7 today. And now the first pitch to Zach Bose is a slider that stayed high for ball 1. Just an impressive outing from the lefty Deloach, who has found a groove. Two and 0, back-to-back times here in the 7th that Deloach has fallen behind. 2 balls and no strikes. Was able to battle back and strike out Ballant. Can Zach Bose take advantage? The pitch outside, ball 3. Oh, anyway on. Carson-Newman's not had many base runners. In fact, James Deloach has retired. Nine in a row. Here's a strike to Bose. Last guy he did not get out was Ballant, reaching by air. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. He's battled back and the count works full. Three balls and 2 strikes to the 1-out batter, Zach Bose. Lefty set into his windup in the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Went to another slider, and Zach Bose was in front of it. 8th strikeout for James Deloach. 2 outs for Dalton McClain.
And that brings the plate, center fielder number 15, Dalton McClain.
And now Dalton McClain, can he get something going in the 7th? The Eagles have been retired 10 consecutive times. Keep in mind, Carson-Newman has not been shut out this season. They have shut out an opponent. That was Emory and Henry. Earlier this year, they did it to Tusculum on Wednesday of last week. They have not been shut out this season. In fact, the lowest output in the game is the 1 run against Shorter back on February 14th, the 4-1 loss at the hands of Shorter. Once again, McClain and the Eagles work ahead in a count. Deloach, for the 3rd time this inning, has fallen behind 2-0. But he's still struck out 2 Eagles hitters already. The pitch found back. Both teams have been phenomenal. Deloach and Pridmore, they've been effective in different ways. Deloach has done it by just simply shutting down Carson-Newman's offense. Pridmore has done it by escaping jams. The 2-1 pitch is a strike, 2-2. Scoreboard has gone out here at Founders Stadium. It just went all black. So they try to resurrect that scoreboard out there beyond right field. A 2-2. Ball 3. Slider dipped into the dirt. McClain stayed away. We work full. Back-to-back batters. The count is run full. The pitch. Called strike 3. James Deloach. It's his day right now on the mound. He retires an 11th hitter in a row. He strikes out the side. Strikeout number 9. What time to stretch from Gaffney, South Carolina. Carson-Newman, nothing. Limestone, nothing. Saints will look to get on the board after this here on the Eagles Sports Network. Wyatt Stone will lead off for Limestone. 0-0, a combined 7 hits. Limestone's got 6 of them, and the advantage. The first pitch of the inning is a swing and a miss for strike 1. Noah Pridmore has put together a fine outing as well. His longest career outing, 6 innings. He's never pitched into the 7th inning, but he will here today. The pitch, swing and a miss. A one-handed swing as Stone lost control of the bat with his right hand. It's strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. As Noah Pridmore looks to put together his best outing of the year. He's an out away from his longest career outing. The pitch, nearly strike 3. Just missed with a fastball outside. At 1-2. Pridmore into his windup. The 1-2. It hit Stone in the back as he tosses the bat toward the dugout in frustration. Well, that's exactly what Carson-Newman and Noah Pridmore did not want to have happen. To lose Stone after you worked ahead of him, and now Janelle Baroa will step in. Baroa 1 for 2 against Pridmore today. Can't tell if there's anybody loosening for Carson-Newman beyond the dugout in foul ground on the right side, but it looks like there maybe is movement out there. I don't know if anybody is exactly throwing, though. This seems to be Pridmore's situation right now. Righty comes set, a long pause, and he'll pick over to first. Well, every pitch is meaningful from here on out. Every situation. Limestone continues to get opportunities, but has not been able to strike. They've left 6 runners aboard. Another pick over from Pridmore. Pridmore comes set from the stretch. The pitch is high, ball 1, throw to first, not in time. That's what Ballin and this Eagles defense will do from the backstop. They love to pick off. They've got confidence. They're going to throw and make a strong throw every time. And they continue to be aggressive in that area, trying to pick off a runner, get a free out for your pitching. Pitch goes outside 2-0. You got to have faith and confidence in your fielders who are making the catch as well to field that throw cleanly as well. 2-0 on Baroa. Got one of the 6 hits for the Saints. The 2-0 from the righty Pridmore is grounded left side. Miller off a couple of hops, flips to Gibbs to first. Double play. 6-4-3. Miller, Gibbs, Denton combine for the double play. 2 outs. Well executed. There was not a thing wrong with the double play. Miller played it off a couple of hops perfectly. A nice flip to Gibbs, stepped on the bag and threw to first. You can't ask for a better 6-4-3 double play. Now with 2 outs, the batter is Gavin Troyer. Predmore's first pitch, outside corner, strike 1. Predmore right now 6 flyouts to 10 groundouts. And he's forced Limestone hitters to go 1 for 14 at the plate with runners aboard. Ground ball off the end of the bat left side. Gibson across the diamond. It's picked at first by Denton. Noah Pridmore. 7 scoreless innings for the right-handed starter. It's his best career outing. He's having a career day. Can the Bats get something going for their junior starter who's throwing a gem? Eagles just 1 hit. Trying to change that after this here on the Eagles Sports Network.
We love to cheer for our home teams, like the Eagles. It means more when we're rooting for the people we know. Did you know Tri-Lite is your home team internet provider? We're right here in Jefferson City, serving the people we know with our ultra-fast, ultra-reliable fiber broadband network. And we'd love to serve you. Learn more at trilite.net or by calling 833-847-0824. Go Eagles!
Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles.
Top of the 8th inning. Carson-Newman has 1 base hit, but we're tied. It's because of what Noah Pridmore has done on the mound today. The junior right-hander has delivered. He has been pitching well in his 27 batters faced. 6 hits, no runs, no earned runs. 1 walk and 2 punch-outs. The right-hander has Carson-Newman in position to try to take this baseball game. It'll come down to whether Tom Griffin's team can get something going. They'll be able to try to get something going against right-hander Corey Bussey. They finally work the starter James Deloach out of the game, who was just as good as Pridmore. Deloach, 7 innings of 1-hit baseball, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. He struck out the side in the 7th, but now gives way to Corey Bussey, who makes his 6th appearance of the year. The first pitch of the inning, Potts lines into right center field. This is down. Carson-Newman's got its 2nd hit of the afternoon. Potts wants 2, throw to second. Not in time. It's bobbled by Adams, and it's a leadoff double for Ryan Potts. Carson-Newman wasted no time. They've struggled all day against left-handed pitching and James Deloach, and they strike on the first pitch of the 8th with a double to right center. Bunt. It's caught by the pitcher, and Potts has to retreat back. Gibson could not get the bunt down. Aiden Gibson bunts it in the air for Bussey to
Second base, number 3.
range over and near the first base line, make the catch for the out. So 1 out, and now Will Gibbs. The pitch, inside corner, ball 1. So the Eagles can't get that runner over. But give way to Gibbs with a ball and no strikes with an out in the 8th. The pitch is on the outside corner, a called strike. Gibbs showed bunt, pulled it back though, thought it was maybe a ball. The pitch to Gibbs, big swing and a miss. Gibbs was well laid on a fastball from Bussey. And it's 1-2. Gibbs today 0 for 1, a strikeout against the starter Deloach. He walked against the lefty as well, facing the reliever Bussey for the first time. The righty comes set. The 1-2 is popped up, foul, out of play. Well, the top of the order, Eagles will turn it back to Trey Miller at the top after this to try to strike first. We're so late in the game. First team to score may have the edge to win this one. Just based on how we're going and how it's been, the first run may be the only run we get in game number 1. Bussey's 1-2 is grounded. It gets through, base hit. Potts rounding third. He'll score. The ball gets away from Baroa. Gibbs to second base. Carson-Newman 1. Limestone nothing. The Eagles strike first. William Gibbs, a softly hit ball up the middle. It barely got through the infield. And underneath the glove of Peter Adams at short, it's 1-0. Will Gibbs delivers for Carson-Newman. He's been one of the hottest hitters on this team. He's 9 of his last 17 at the plate. And his batting average has bumped up nearly 50 points in conference play, and he delivers with a 1-out single to center. And now Trey Miller, who takes a breaking ball in the dirt for ball 1. That ball may have came up and hit the catcher, Davis Turner, so the umpire behind the plate will give time and give Turner a second to gather himself. As the home plate umpire does a good job to give Turner some time. Brett Harker out of the dugout as well to check on his battery. RBI base hit from Will Gibbs to give Carson-Newman the advantage in what has been just a rock fight of offense. Just quality pitching and defense throughout the day. But finally, Carson-Newman's offense comes alive, and it's against the bullpen. The pitch to Miller fouled back. Well, now if you're the Eagles, you're searching for insurance. You want insurance heading in to these final 2 frames. Travis Tingle's been working his way up and down the dugout from the bullpen along the right side. And there is somebody throwing. I can't tell exactly who it is, but Pridmore's day could be over. He'd be in line for the victory, though, if he doesn't go back out for the 8th inning. He's had a career day, pitching into the 7th inning for the first time in his career, and he goes 7 innings for the first time in his career. As another breaking ball is low, it's 2-1, and we may have a change. We will. That'll be it for the right-handed reliever, Corey Bussey. And we're going to have a new pitcher. New pitcher for Limestone. The Saints trail at 1-0. The Eagles have the advantage. Back for more with Carson-Newman with runner in scoring position and just 1 out in the 8th.
We love to cheer for our home teams, like the Eagles. It means more when we're rooting for the people we know. Did you know Tri-Light is your home team internet provider? We're right here in Jefferson City, serving the people we know with our ultra-fast, ultra-reliable fiber broadband network. And we'd love to serve you. Learn more at trilight.net or by calling 833
$8,000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles.
New pitcher for the Saints is a right-hander, Alex Canino. He'll make his 10th appearance of the year. His 10th appearance will be the most on the team. He started a game this year. He has a 4.66 earned run average. 5'6" right-hander is a senior from Lithwood, South Carolina. His last outing came on the 14th against Erskine. 2 innings pitched, 3 hits, a run allowed. He's given up a run in his last 3 outings. He's got a trio of scoreless outings this year out of the pen. He pitched 3 scoreless against Showen in his first outing of the year. Then he went an inning and 2/3 against Anderson, and his best outing was 3 scoreless frames against Coker, in which he struck out 2, and he allowed 2 hits, I should say, and struck out 3. He's limited to walks. He's only walked 2 batters in his 9 appearances over the course of 19 1/3 innings pitched. His task, get out of this 8th inning. And where Carson-Newman has struck for the only run of the game, Will Gibbs, RBI single up the middle. And then a fielding error by Barrio out in center allowed Gibbs to get back into scoring position or get into scoring position. And now Miller at the plate will face the sidearm throwing right-hander. The submarine style delivers. The pitch is found at the plate, strike 2. Well, this is a tough situation, too. You had come in with a 2-ball, 1-strike count. No time to ease into a count and face a new hitter. You go in and have to face a guy in mid-count. Tough situation. See if Canino can deliver for the Saints. Miller trying to extend his 5-game hitting streak. He's 0 for 3 today. The pitch breaks outside, ball 3. The righty Canino comes set in time called by Miller at the plate. It's like time was called. The pitch, Miller drives one out to right field. Troiner back to the warning track, makes the catch. Gibbs tags from second. He'll get to third. And with 2 outs, the Eagles have a guy 90 feet away from scoring Nelson Smith to the plate. So Miller flies out. He falls to 0 for 4. And now Nelson Smith.
Coming to the bat be the left fielder, number 36, Nelson Smith.
Righty Canino back to work. The pitch to Smith. A foul tip into the mid for a swinging strike 1. Nelson Smith 0 for 3 at the plate. Carson-Newman's first 4 hitters in the lineup, Miller, Smith, Denton, and Ballant, a combined 0 for 13. And the Eagles have the lead. Smith drives one out to left. This ball is off the wall. 1 run is in. Nelson Smith into second base. A 2-out stand-up double. Nelson Smith drives one to left. It hits up off the top of the Blue Monster. And it's 2-0.
And that brings the plate. First baseman number 20, James Denton.
All Carson-Newman needed was to get James DeLoach out of the game. The lefty had been wheeling and dealing all afternoon. The Eagles run him out of the game, and they strike for 2 in the 8th. The pitch to Denton is grounded right side. The first baseman, Shugan Fields, flips to Carino in time for the 3rd out. But Carson-Newman strikes for a 3-hit inning and 2 runs. They entered the inning with 0 runs and only 1 hit to show. They capped that 8th with 2 runs on 3 hits. 6 outs away from a 6th straight conference victory. And the Eagles will turn it over to the bullpen after this here on the Eagles Sports Network. Into the game for Carson-Newman, Jake Wright is the new pitcher for the Eagles. The right-hander gets the ball in the 8th inning, and a base hit through the left side. It just sneaks underneath the mid of Trey Miller, and it's a leadoff single for the Saints. Peter Adams gets the job done with a leadoff base hit. Jake Wright, appearance number 5 this year, is 37th of his Carson-Newman career. And the first pitch now to the 2-hitter Noah Love is a strike at the knees. The hard-throwing Jake Wright now on the mound. 5'10" junior will bring it with that fastball. You'll see him mix in a slider as well. Another hard fastball into the dirt for a ball. 1-1. Righty comes set, and the pitch is hit out toward right center field. This ball is going to one-hop up against the wall. Adams rounding third. Gibbs is relay to the plate. Going to be late. 2-1. Peter Adams scores on the double to right from Noah Love. And just like that, the Saints are within a run. Just like that.
And that brings the play for the Saints.
The Saints in business. Time called by Ballin at the plate. He'll go chat with his pitcher, Jake Wright. And what is now turned into an offensive game after 7 scoreless frames between these two teams. Will Gibbs got the scoring started. Nelson Smith capped it with a double in the 8th. And luckily for Carson-Newman, that is huge. And now Tom Griffin will venture out of the dugout. After Ballin went out for a conversation, Tom Griffin will trot out. To talk with Jake Wright. And they'll strategize how they want to attack Zach O'Malley, who's 1 for 3. And we may have a change. So that'll be it for Jake Wright. He'll allow 2 base hits in a very short effort. The Eagles want a lefty to face Zach O'Malley. Griff Hughes trotting in from the outfield. He'll be the new pitcher for Carson-Newman after this here on the Eagles Sports Network.
We love to cheer for our home teams, like the Eagles. It means more when we're rooting for the people we know. Did you know Tri-Lite is your home team internet provider? We're right here in Jefferson City, serving the people we know with our ultra-fast, ultra-reliable fiber broadband network. And we'd love to serve you. Learn more at trilite.net or by calling 833-847-0824. Go Eagles!
Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles.
Appearance number 14 for Griff Hughes comes in a big spot in a 2-1 game. The lefty goes to a fastball low and away for ball 1. The lefty from Knoxville stands at 6'4", and he's got an ERA of 5.96 this year. 36 strikeouts to 14 walks. He'll face left-handed hitting Zach O'Malley, who takes a strike, 1-1. So Griff Hughes in a big spot for Carson-Newman here. After Jake Wright pulled after facing just 2 batters, giving up a pair of base hits. Griff Hughes has been Carson-Newman's go-to arm. He's got the most appearances on the team this season. The pitch. Swing and a miss. O'Malley went golfing at a breaking ball in the dirt. Strike 2. Love standing at second with Dylan Shugan waiting on the on-deck circle with O'Malley at the plate. 2 outs, or 2 strikes, no one out. Lefty facing the lefty, Hughes, who comes set, and the pitch. Swing and a miss. It gets away from Ballant. He'll throw to first. High throw. Will Coxon makes the catch at first. 1 out. Great awareness. Ballant had to get the throw to first because of the drop third strike. He looked down the runner love, made sure he wasn't going to take off, and made a strong throw up the line at first to get the runner. Will Coxon wisely as well was able to field that ball or catch it cleanly and immediately look to third to make sure that runner didn't take off. Now 1 out, and Shugan lines one to right. Potts comes in, makes the catch. 2 outs. A ball that hangs up enough for Carson-Newman's right fielder Ryan Potts to make a play, and there's 2 outs. And now Griff Hughes to face Davis Turner. This is why you go matchups. You trust that Hughes can get Shugan, which he can, and now, just like the lefty-lefty matchup, Hughes against O'Malley, now you get the lefty-lefty again with Davis Turner. Surprised Carson-Newman didn't start the inning. Yes, you had 2 righties to start the inning, but even if you know you may go to Hughes, wonder why you don't start him in the inning. Not questioning any decisions, but certainly with the lefties in the middle part of the order, you're hoping Jake Wright could get 2 outs there in the 8th to begin the inning. Then maybe you turn it to Hughes to be your closer and get the final 4 outs. Instead, Hughes has got to get you out of the 8th. Maybe pitches the 9th and goes for the 6-out save. This pitch runs inside, nearly drilled Turner on a fastball. Up and in. 2 balls and no strikes. This is the out you figure you got to have. You don't want to put the go-ahead run aboard. In the 8th, trying to get Turner and get out of this and go to the 9th with a 1-run advantage. Hughes' pitch. Outside corner, strike 1. Well, Griff Hughes, we've talked about the experience that he presents out on the rubber in his 3rd season with Carson-Newman. 33 now career appearances. The lefty's 2-1 pitch to Turner. Breaks low, ball 3. 3-1 with 2 outs in the 8th. Carson-Newman softball trails 6-1 in the 3rd against Newberry. Eagles off to a slow start after the incredible finish to game 1 of the day. Eagles have work to do back in Jefferson City. Lefty Hughes comes set, a 3-1 pitch. On the way, it's popped up left side. Smith loses his hat, ranging in, makes the catch, inning over. Ball hangs up enough for Nelson Smith to sprint in without his hat, make the catch, and Griff Hughes comes into the game, retires 3 consecutive hitters. Fly ball, fly ball, fly ball. We head to the 9th. Carson-Newman 2, Eagles have the advantage. Limestone 1. Eagles look for insurance after this on the Eagles Sports Network.
We love to cheer for our home teams, like the Eagles. It means more when we're rooting for the people we know. Did you know Tri-Lite is your home team internet provider? We're right here in Jefferson City, serving the people we know with our ultra-fast, ultra-reliable fiber broadband network. And we'd love to serve you. Learn more at trilite.net or by calling 833-847-0824. Go Eagles!
Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles.
Back for the 9th, Griff Hughes. Miraculous work out of the pen. 3 up, 3 down once he came into the game to help Carson-Newman get out of that inning. Mitchell Ballant will lead things off for Carson-Newman. Top of the order has struggled outside of Nelson Smith's RBI base hit, and they're hoping that Ballant can deliver a base hit to start this 9th inning to help get the Eagles some insurance here in the 9th. Ballant lines one down the line. It's a fair ball in the right field corner. Ballant's got a base hit. He wants extra bases. The throw in is late. A leadoff double for Mitchell Ballant. It just stayed fair, bouncing in the outfield grass inside the line. And a leadoff double for Mitch Ballant. And now we'll have a pinch runner. Sam Stern will come on and run for Ballant at second base.
Pinch runner in the game, Carson-Newman. Number 9, Sam Astor.
So Ballant out of the game, a Stern in to run. The Eagles try to get some extra speed out there to add insurance. Righty Carino back out there. The side armor delivers a pitch that Bose hits back up the middle base hit. The Eagles lead it 3-1. Zach Bose, RBI single up the middle. Sam Astern scores. It's 3-1.
And that brings the play for the Eagles. Center fielder number 9, Dalton McClain.
And we may have another change. Canino may be done after giving up a pair of hits to start the inning. He is. Carson-Newman with back-to-back hits, and they strike back immediately. They get another 2-run lead on their hands, a 3-1 advantage. New pitcher for the Saints. We'll tell you who it is after this here on the Eagles Sports Network.
Don't know what to wear on game day? Head over to shopseeandeagles.com for all of your Carson-Newman athletics gear. You can find clothing from Adidas, Columbia, Nike, and Under Armour to cover you from head to toe. ShopSeeingEagles.com also has duffel bags, backpacks, jewelry, pet supplies, and gifts. Don't waste any more time. Prove you are the ultimate Carson-Newman fan with the official gear of the Eagles at ShopSeeingEagles.com. Visit today.
At InterDigital, we strive to be a leading provider of cutting-edge digital and marketing solutions. At InterDigital, we want to help our clients find success. Our team of technology gurus work together to ensure InterDigital continues to progress forward as technology advances. At InterDigital, we make technology work for you. Visit InterDigital.com for IT support, web development, virtual tours, graphic design, internet marketing, mobile app, and film production services.
InterDigital, laser-focused on your success.
It's halftime. We'll head back to the arena for the ShopSeeingEagles.com halftime report in just 60 seconds on the Eagle Sports Network.
Back to Founders Stadium here in Gaffney, South Carolina. Andrew Rogers going to have you alongside here on the Eagle Sports Network, the first of 2 on this mid-March Saturday. If you're just joining us, you didn't really miss much in the first 7 innings. Neither team could score a run. There were a combined 7 hits. And Carson-Newman only managed 1 hit of the 7 total in the first 7 innings, but the Eagles have erupted down the stretch of this baseball game. Carson-Newman, after getting 1 hit in the first 7 innings of this game, has managed 5 hits. In the last 2 innings, there's still no one out in this inning, and they've managed 3 runs off of it as well. Just big-time effort from Carson-Newman. To be able to get the job done. Runner at first for Dalton McClain. Bose at first after his RBI base hit. The new pitcher is Nick Robertson, and the righty delivers a called strike. Nick Robertson, the new pitcher, is a right-hander, making his 8th appearance of the year. The seniors from Lawrence, South Carolina. He's pitched scoreless innings in back-to-back outings against Newberry and Tusculum. Potts shows bunt, or McLean, I should say, shows bunt, and fouls it toward Potts near the on-deck circle. Strike 2. The 0-2 pitch is hit well out to left field. McClain got all of this one, and it's gone. Dalton McClain over top. The Blue Monster delivers a 2-run shot, and the insurance runs have been scored by Carson-Newman. They lead 5-1. An absolute rocket from Dalton McClain.
And that brings the plate
to get the Eagles a 4-run lead, a 3-run 9th inning for Carson-Newman. Dalton McClain goes yard, his 10th and 11th runs batted in this year. First home run of the year as well for the junior from Greenville. And ball 1 delivered to Ryan Potts. Potts, or called strike, I should say. Next pitch also in there. Strike 2 quickly on Potts, who's 1 for 3 today. How about the offense late in this one? pitch, grounded left side. Adams backhands it short, long throw, a high throw that sails out of play. And Potts will trot to second on the error. Third error for Limestone today. We touched on it early on. A team that has committed multiple errors now in 13 of its 23 games. One of the worst fielding percentage teams defensively this season. And the South Atlantic Conference makes a mistake with still no one out in the ninth. And now a visit from the dugout. Adams did a good job, fielded the ground ball cleanly with the backhand, but it was just a throw which he didn't need to rush. That sailed high and allowed Potts to reach and get to second base as well with the ball going out of play. And so now it'll be Aiden Gibson. Gibson 0 for 3, entered the weekend on a 5-game hitting streak. Him and Miller both with hitting streaks in jeopardy, but there's a chance Miller gets back to the plate. Still no one out in the inning. Line drive. Foul ball. Just a few feet from being fair for Gibson down the line and right. Instead, he'll head back to the batter's box and grab his stick and try again. Very close. Same spot that Ballant put it in a few batters back. Line drive, base hit into right center. This one just got over the mid of the second baseman, Stone. Rounding third and scoring is Potts, an RBI base hit for Aiden Gibson. He's got himself a 6-game hitting streak now, and the lead is 5. 6-1, Carson-Newman. Things have unraveled for the Saints in game 1. A 5-run, check that 4-run ninth now, and still nobody out. Gibbs bunts. It's missed on a diving effort by Robertson. Gibbs gets to the bag cleanly. The ball gets away from the first baseman, Shugan, and Gibbs trots to second. Tom Griffin put on the brakes for Aiden Gibson, who got to third, thought about going home, and instead he stayed there. Well, Robertson, the pitcher, made a diving effort to try to catch the bunt. All he needed to do was just field it cleanly off the one hop and flip to first. Instead, he tried to make the acrobatic play, missed it, and then there was nobody behind him to field it cleanly. It was a late flip from Robertson that went all the way beyond the first base bag to allow two guys to advance. So Gibbs to second, Gibson to third, no one out for Miller, who takes the strike. Robertson's pitch to Miller breaks low, and it's a ball. How about Dalton McClain? His home run has helped continue things. Some mistakes defensively for Limestone have obviously cost them as well in this inning, and still nobody out of the inning. A pitch inside corner to Miller, called strike 2. Looks like Limestone infield will come in on the grass with no one out and 2 strikes, trying to catch the runner at home plate. Trailing by 5, 6-1, a 4-run ninth for Carson-Newman. The pitch breaks down and away. Good block from Turner to keep that ball away from the backstop, and it goes to 2-2. balls, 2 strikes. The righty Robertson comes set, and the pitch is a breaking ball that is slapped foul off the bat of Trey Miller. It's 2 runs charged to Robertson, 1 is earned. He's allowed 3 hits since coming on in this 9th inning. A game that saw 7 scoreless frames. And now Carson-Newman is broken open here in the 9th. Pitch is lifted out toward left center field. The left fielder is over to make the catch. It'll go down as a sacrifice fly for Miller as Jack Davis made the catch. Gibson scores, Gibbs to third. It's 7-1. Job well done for Trey Miller. He won't extend his hitting streak, but he does get an RBI, sacrifice fly to left. That's the first out for Limestone in the 9th. Now Nelson Smith, he got Carson-Newman's crucial second run. He doesn't double to left in the 8th inning. Limestone was able to get 1 in the 8th. Maybe they get another in that 8th inning, realizing it was a tied game. Here's a nice breaking ball from Robertson that breaks in to the inside corner for a strike. But if Nelson Smith does not deliver that base hit in the 8th, who knows what happens beyond? Because it would have been a 1-1 game. Limestone immediately answered in the 8th with back-to-back hits. Smith line drive, base hit into left. Infield was playing in. If they're playing normal depth, it's probably an easy line drive out. Instead, Smith lines it into left, base hit. 8-1 Carson-Newman, and Limestone will make another change. The Saints pitching is unraveled here in the 9th. We'll see a third pitcher in the inning as Carson-Newman has scored 5. Check that, 6 in the 9th. They have the lead 8-1 here on the Eagles Sports Network.
And now comes plate, Carson-Newman, number 2, Ben Wilcoxon.
Ben Wilcoxon will be the hitter for Carson-Newman. He came on as a defensive replacement for James Denton in the 8th. Now he'll bat for Denton in the 3 spot and face Zach Saxton, the new pitcher for Limestone in the 9th. Right-hander Saxton, a 7.11 earned run average in 5 appearances, making his 6th here this afternoon. And the pitch stays upstairs to Wilcoxon for ball 1. Ben Wilcoxon batting $150. He's got 3 runs driven in. Known as coming on late in games as a defensive replacement. And the opportunity to bat here now with the Eagles batting around in the ninth. A 6-run ninth inning. The 1-0 offering is not going to come in. It's going to be a pick over to Smith at first, who's back safely. Now the 1-0 pitch is a strike to Wilcoxon, 1-1. 10 hits for Carson-Newman. This is a team that had 1 heading into the 8th. The offense has exploded at the right time. It's all come against this Limestone bullpen, which has made everybody at the park forget about the effort from the starting pitcher, James DeLoach, who pitched 7 scoreless innings, 9 strikeouts, and 2 walks, 1 hit baseball for 7 innings. The lefty was on point for the Saints, but it's been the bullpen that has struggled and continues to struggle as Wilcoxon drives one into the gap in left center. This will allow Smith to go from first to third, and it's a pinch hit single for Ben Wilcoxon. And there's runners on the corners with an out in the inning. Offense continues to come alive, and we'll have another change for Carson-Newman. Cade Berkey will step to the plate, the senior from Knoxville.
For the Eagles, number 16, Cade Berkey.
Berkey gets the opportunity with the Eagles needing to make a change because of Mitchell Ballin getting pinch run for with Sam Stern. The Eagles decide to get Stern out of the game, and they'll bring Berkey into pinch hit with 2 on and an out in the inning. The pitch to Berkey, inside corner and low for ball 1. Berkey fouls the 1-0 pitch back. Berkey this year, 5 at-bats with 1 base hit. It was a base hit against Tusculum back on February 8th, a 10-4 loss for Carson-Newman. An Eagles team that is en route to a second road win this season. A group that entered 1-9 on the road this year is 3 outs away in the bottom of the 9th from getting that second win of the year on the road and back above 500. Swinging strike for Berkey. He's behind 1-2. Righty Saxton comes set. The pitch is called strike 3. Outside corner. Berkey thought maybe that was just a little bit outside. Instead, it's called strike 3. And now Zach Bowes back to the plate for the second time this inning. He delivered an RBI single that got Carson-Newman its first run of this 9th inning. Made the score 3-1. Saxton trying to get the Saints out of this inning with an out here. His first pitch is outside for a ball. Saxton, the 5th Limestone pitcher of the day. 3rd of the inning and 4th in the last 2 innings after the 7 strong from DeLoach. As Saxton, this is a breaking ball low for ball 2. Is popped up right side. Everybody running with 2 outs. The second baseman over makes the catch for the final out of the inning. It's Stone making the grab, but Carson-Newman with a 6-run 9th inning. They compile 8 hits, and they lead 8-1. Eagles 3 outs away from winning the first game of the series. They'll send Griff Hughes to the mound to try to finish the job here on the Eagles Sports Network. Eagles 3 outs away from a second road win this year. We'll send Griff Hughes to the mound. He'll face Cole Costco, the pinch hitter for the Saints. And Hughes goes low with a fastball to start Costco out. The pinch hitter low for ball 1. 257 hitter for Costco. His 13th appearance this year. He's got 9 hits and 35 tries. His 1-0 is the 1-0 pitch he takes from Hughes is inside. And low for ball 2. Well, Griff Hughes came on, got the crucial final 3 outs of the 8th, and what was a 2-1 game at the time. But a 6-run 9th inning has helped the Eagles grab insurance runs and secure a comfortable 9th inning lead. Here at Founders Stadium, the pitch is at the knees, strike 2. Spencer Brighton to the game at catcher for Carson-Newman. He'll catch Hughes in this 9th inning. Lefty comes set from the stretch, and lefty's 2-2. Call. Boy, that was close. That was right down the middle, maybe a little bit low. Very close. Very, very close on the call from the umpire. Looked for sure to be strike 3. Instead, it's ball 3, 3-2. Hughes comes set, and his 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Griff Hughes went to the slider, and Costco fanned at it for strike 3, 1 out. It'll bring a new hitter to the plate again for Limestone. Several changes. Clark Burrows will make his 12th appearance of the year. He's a .214 hitter off the bench, 6 hits, 28 tries, and 6 runs driven in. He's got 6 RBI this year in limited action. And he'll get the opportunity to swing the bat. First of 2, the second game will be a 7-inning matchup between these two teams. Expect the Saints to throw their ace, Jake Contino, who they did not throw in game 1. Certainly, Jake Deloach looked like an ace, or James Deloach, I should say. But Jake Contino is a 3.12 earned run average pitcher so far this year. He's their best arm. And maybe they'll save him for game 2. Pitch is high, ball 2. Well, once we get into the second game of the day, we'll take a look around the South Atlantic Conference and let you know what's going on around the league on this Saturday and how everything will shape out in the conference with the scores. Give you an updated standings look and all that heading into game 2. Don't want to start it now and then have to stop in between it. Wingate 9-1 over Lenore-Rhine. We'll get the scores here in this final half inning. 3-0 the count to Burrows. The pitch goes low, ball 4. 4-pitch walk from Hughes to Burrows. And Limestone will make another change. Joe Nelson, a senior infielder, will swing the bat for the first time this season. Guy that has not batted this season will face Griff Hughes. Saints emptying the bench a little bit here in the 9th. First pitch, inside corner, a ball. Tusculum defeats Mars Hill 8-7. Newberry winners over UVA Wise 11-4. West Georgia takes down Emory and Henry in a close one 3-2. Catawba 10, Coker 8. Wingate 9, Lenore-Rhine 1, and LMU 2, Anderson 3. Those are your first game scores. Wingate's already hopped on Lenore-Rhine in the first 3-0 in game 2. Here's a called strike to the pinch hitter Nelson. 2 balls and a strike. This will be the last South Atlantic Conference game 1 of the day to come to a close. All the other ones are final in game 1s. Game 2's about to get underway, so we'll have a pretty good look out of how things will shape out by the end of the day, heading into the final day of the weekend and final games of the series. As Hughes comes set for a 2-2 pitch with 1 out and 1 on in the ninth. Nelson flies one out to center. Dalton McClain ranging back toward the deepest part of the park makes the catch. 2 outs. Eagles an out away from win number 13. Looking to extend this winning streak, and they'll face another pinch hitter. It'll be Gianni Lombardo. So Lombardo will pinch hit. I should say Joe Nelson actually did have 16 at-bats this year. I was looking at the wrong number for the previous at-bat, but he did have 16 at-bats this year, batting a .188. Lombardo will hit for the 33rd time this year. He's appeared in 14 games, and lines one into left center field. Base hit for Lombardo. Runner will move up 1 spot, and 2 aboard with 2 outs in the ninth. Lombardo with his 4th hit of the year. And now Peter Adams. Now Peter Adams, one of the best hitters in this conference, has a 2-hit day to lead the Limestone attack. Trying to extend this contest and an 8-1 lead for Carson-Newman. The pitch to Adams. He shows bunt, pulls it back, and Bright bobbled the initial catch, was able to recover and keep it near his glove, and is able to secure it. Saints trailing 8-1. 1-0 pitch from Griff Hughes is fouled back into the netting. Carson-Newman softball is trailing 11-2. Yes, you heard that right. Newberry has erupted for 11 runs in the first 4 frames. Bottom of the 4th inning, Eagles do have the bases loaded and nobody out. So that is the one good thing to take away from that. The Eagles are trying to make a little bit of a surge. The pitch is a strike to Peter Adams. 1-2. Griff Hughes trying to slam the door on a 7-run victory and cap what was a strong finish to this one. The lefty comes set with 2 runners on base and the pitch from the lefty. Takes a long pause, and now it is in. It's grounded foul right side. Game 2 will get underway probably 20 to 30 minutes following the conclusion of this one. On this 50-degree day in Gaffney, South Carolina. Lefty comes set. Look back at the runner and the pitch. Jammed Adams on the hands. Wilcoxon fields, throw to Hughes, ends up at the front of the dugout. That's going to be an infield base hit. A tough play for the first baseman Wilcoxon to make. Adams was probably going to get to the bag anyway. And so now all the bases are loaded. Well, Limestone's put together 10 hits. They only have 1 run to show for it. But now Noah Love to the plate. Well, things get interesting now. You've loaded the bases, trailing by 7. If you can put together a couple of runs here, you get Carson-Newman a little worried from the first base dugout, and maybe an arm gets loose. 2 outs, Hughes to face Love, who fans at a slider, strike 1. Eagles were very close. That's a tough play to make on a ball that's too softly hit for Gibbs in the hole at second to field. He was more toward the second base bag, playing up the middle. Wilcoxon couldn't get over early enough, and then forced Hughes to get to the bag at first, and he was late getting there, and the throw was well in front of him as well as Wilcoxon threw it to the bag. But Hughes was late. Love fans at another slider. It's quickly 0-2. Hughes another strike away from sending Carson-Newman to its 6th straight South Atlantic Conference win. The lefty comes set, a big deep breath, in the pitch is a high fastball, ball 1. Here's a foul ball at the plate, and Love, I think, get it off his foot, so the umpire will give him a second to regroup prior to another 1-2 offering. Bases loaded for the Saints here in the ninth. Hughes back on the rubber. 1 ball and 2 strikes in an 8-1 game. Lefty has the sign. The pitch is a high fastball. Ball 2. Well, good speed in Adams at first base. You're running on all contact. Something hitting the gap or into the outfield certainly would give Carson-Newman some problems and could allow 2 to 3 runs to come across. But it's got to be Love that delivers. He's 0 for 4 today. Hughes trying to end it here. The pitch called, strike 3. That'll do it. An interesting 9th inning, but Carson-Newman prevails. They score 8 runs in the final 2 innings while compiling 10 hits. And Carson-Newman's Eagles start the day with an 8-1 victory over the Limestone Saints. Final score 8-1. The Eagles out-hit the Saints 11-10 and play a perfect game in the field. It's Noah Pridmore getting his 4th win of the year. The right-hander, 7 scoreless innings of just allowing 6 hits. He struck out 2, and the Eagles get the job done in a game that takes just under 3 hours. Pridmore the win. Carson-Newman wins it. We'll talk to you in about 30 minutes. We'll estimate 5:20-ish first pitch here from Founders Stadium for Game 2 of the day.